Hey guys, so this is a really interesting call that I had with Meir Ezra, who is a entrepreneur. He's got 700 employees. He is very, very successful. I don't know his exact net worth, but it seems like he's generated over $1 billion in revenue. And I've watched his work on and off for the last 7 years or so. And he is a mind expander. Okay. You're going to not understand what a lot of stuff that he's talking about. It might confuse you. It might challenge you at your core beliefs. That is why I like talking to him and like watching his content, because when he speaks, it's challenging my core beliefs. It's challenging everything I think about spirituality, everything I think about definitions and words and labels. And for those reasons, he's very valuable. So he's got some unbelievable qualities. I know people who worked with him. Apparently, he only sleeps 4 hours a night, and then one day a week he doesn't sleep at all. He only eats one meal a day. He's 62 years old. He's in great health. You're going to hear some interesting stuff on this call, okay? Some bizarre stuff that's very different to what I've taught in the past. Let this man expand your mind, okay? And then if you want to go deeper, you can check out his work and his content and everything that he has to offer. That's all I want to say. Let it expand your mind. During that conversation, and even now, a couple hours later, I am not trying to figure out if I agree, if I disagree, if he's wrong, if he's right. I'm just allowing the medicine to work on me, which is an expansive medicine, expansive viewpoints, and essentially challenges me to be bigger and to have more cause. He is challenging everyone to have more cause in their life, not to be at the mercy of circumstances. Okay? Thanks, guys. Ciao. Enjoy the video. Thanks for being here. I've watched your content on and off for years, and I don't know if you remember, we had a call many years ago. It was probably 6 years
Yeah,
ago or something.
yeah.
And I don't think I was fully ready to understand your wizardry, but the more I watch your content, the more my mind starts expanding and opening up. So I want to use this as a platform for my audience, for anyone who's interested in business and merging spirituality or energy or whatever it is. I'm very insecure with my language because you pick on every word and the definition of every word. So
Yes.
it's very hard to talk to you. But nonetheless, I wanted to just use this as a coaching and also
Okay.
for my audience. Okay.
Perfect.
So I guess let's just start with, like, what is it for most people are not going to have heard of you. What is it that you do?
Okay, I'm a businessman.
Okay.
I'm doing business. I'm Jewish, so I'm printing money.
I'm Jewish as well. Yeah.
So that's the thing that I'm doing. Most of my day, I can say 85% of my life is business, and I have many businesses. I have software companies. I lend money. I do real estate. We own hotels. I have a lot of business, and over the years, because I created this massive success from very young age, people ask me, how do you do it? And I was just teaching people how to do it, friends. And then one day someone told me, "Look, you have to teach more people." And I said, "No, I'm not interested. I'm too busy." And he says, "Well, you yourself said that there's no such thing as too busy." And I say, "You're right. You're right." And I started to, so he invited me to one of those big events, and I was a keynote speaker, and it was extremely successful. And since then, I help people. I just do it as a side business. It's more like a hobby, but I help people when they really ready to confront, to look at what they know wrong. Because the only reason a person do not succeed is because he has a piece of what I call fake reality. He has something he has 100% sure is correct, but it doesn't bring the expected results. So obviously it's incorrect, but he is totally oblivious to this as a possibility that it's incorrect. And so it's very hard for people to actually assimilate, to hear what I'm saying, because I'm super accurate. Because in order to be super rich, you need to be super accurate. A small mistake here at the beginning will become huge mistake later. And most people don't understand. So they think, it's not important if I say money or currency, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Nothing is the same in this universe. The power comes from the ability to separate, to differentiate. Insanity is actually this thing that everything is equal to everything else. I see a key and I think it's a snake. I'm cuckoo. But if I see a key and I see the differences, the identities, and the similarities, very smart, and so I can control things. And otherwise, I'm just a robot.
Do you think, well, before I ask that question, I know on your Instagram it says you made $100 million by the age of 32. And
Yeah,
how old are you now?
I'm 62.
62. So you must have made 200 plus $1 million at this point.
Much more. $100 million at that time was like $1 billion today.
Wow.
So
Wow.
30 years ago, $100 million, it was in South Africa. The dollar exchange rate at that time was somewhere around 3 rand for $1. Today is almost 20 rand for $1.
Mhm.
And so you can see the deterioration in the dollars. And it's probably something like $1.5 billion today. And since then, I've done much, much, much more in sales and in profit and many countries. I'm operating in 24 countries. I have many businesses
What is the
in
core?
different
Is there one
areas.
business that does the most revenue of all of them? What is that business?
Yes, there is one business that do more revenue, and it is lending to real estate companies.
Okay.
I lend money. Once I started to make a lot of money, I realized that people need money to start real estate projects. So I lend money to real estate projects,
Wow.
only specific real estate projects, and I also lend money to people that has assets and want to invest in crypto. So many people that are in the crypto area have assets like a house, and the house worth $10 million, and they want $5 million to invest in crypto because they think that crypto will go up. So I will give them the money against the house as a security,
Okay.
house or cars or whatever.
And so the coaching business is literally just a small fraction, and you do this as a hobby. Yeah.
This is
And that's
nothing.
so
It's $60
interesting because
million.
the
dollars.
people who I know worked with you, they told me that you literally don't sleep or you sleep very, very little. Can you share more about that?
Correct.
So
Yeah,
is sleep a
I
mental fabrication?
I think that I consider that sleep and food is for weak people.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Food and sleep is for weak people. And once you are not serving your body, but using the body, you can tell the body what to do. And you can train the body to do much more than the average person believe the body can do. So I think the body needs to be under stress all the time. It must not be protected.
Uh-huh.
It must be used. It's like imagine that I have this very nice fast car, and I protect the car. I never drive it fast.
Mhm.
I never push it to the limit. So why do I buy this fast car? It will deteriorate and become weaker and weaker and break down. You have something, you need to use it, and if you don't use it, you start to be a servant to it. So I clean the car, I maintain the car, I pay insurance, blah, 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 but I don't really use it. So why do I buy this car? Let me buy a Volkswagen, you know?
So do you not eat at all? Are you breatharian or?
No, I do sleep and I do eat, but
Oh,
once per day.
okay. One meal per
And
day and how many
I
hours a
don't
night?
4 hours, three
4 hours.
hours, once per week. I don't sleep at all.
Wow.
Uh, and I enjoy every second. I hate sleeping. It's the thing that the body needs, so I give it.
Uh-huh.
But I cannot stand sleeping.
Because
That's why I'm
you love
lying
life
down
or you love
because I
working.
cannot stand it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is fascinating stuff. So you've rewired the expectations of what a human body is supposed to do, or what we've been conditioned to believe, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that
I
has a
think that
cost somewhere? Do you think there's a cost
no,
somewhere on a physiological or biological level that you've overridden?
I'm 62. I don't see doctors. I don't take any medication, any vitamins, anything. I in the gym. I generally beat all the young people, all my kids. Most of the time, I beat them. I bench 105 kilo. I leg press somewhere around 400 kilos. I deadlift 120, 140, depends on which day. So
Amazing. Okay. All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty. So you started the conversation with saying if you start here and you go and you travel and you make a little mistake, you're doomed in the future. Where is the starting point? Is it language?
the starting point is the words,
Okay.
not the language as a whole, but specifically words and symbols.
Mhm.
So, for example, most people, when they plan a business, they think about a goal or a purpose. I think that it's nonsense. Why? The purpose and the goal have will change so many times during your progress. So it's nonsense. So it's not the goal. It's not what I want to be. It's not what I want to do. But you need how I operate. I define a very specific thing that I want to have, not to be, not to do, something that I want to have. And then, because I know what I want to have, I can figure out what needs to be done. And so I make myself fall in love with what needs to be done. Most people say, no, I don't like it. What do you mean I don't like it? Who asked you? You want a target, you have a target. You need to fall in love with what needs to be done. So I'll give you an example. When I was very young, I was just after I was in the Israeli army. I was a diver. And after 6 years in the army, I was about to get released and I was looking to work somewhere to make some money because I wanted to go and travel in the Far East. So I wanted to make $6,000. So I started to take care of this old man. And this old man was living in a house and with his very old wife, and the house was not. It was a nice house, but it was not maintained. You know, like old people house. And I started to say, okay, fine. I'm going to. I understand what my end result. My end result was this old man going to have the best life he ever had, ever. I'm going to make him laugh. I'm going to make him move his body. I'm going to make him happy.
What,
So
why
what
though?
is
Why did you want that?
because someone paid me to take care of him. And
Mhm.
I define what does it mean to take care of him? What's the end result that I want? Because otherwise, what's the difference between a person and a robot? A person have an end result, so he figure out what he needs to do, so he become. A robot knows that he is a robot and he do, but he never knows what he got. He doesn't have an end result, yes? He
Mhm.
doesn't work by, I want to arrive to this mountain, so whatever the barriers, I will go around them, above them, underneath, I will explode the barrier, but I will overcome the barriers. That's a person. A robot cannot do that. A robot has, this is what you do. So if you are a waitress and you are a robot, the manager will tell you you need to ask for this, you need to do this, you need to move the chair, you need to do, you need, and the whole day they will tell you what to do. So you are a robot. A person that start a business have to define for himself what's the end result. And if he knows the end result, he will know what to do. So with this old man, I decided this is my end result. And it was very clear to me that I need to clean him. He was with diapers, and I need to make him extremely comfortable with me. And I need to make the environment amazing. So, first of all, I fell in love with cleaning him. Whenever he was doing his stuff, I cleaned him and I enjoyed it. I made myself loving it. I couldn't look at my own, but his, no problem.
Mhm.
I started to clean the house, to renovate the house, to paint, to do things that they didn't pay me, like nothing to do with anything. I just decided I'm going to give such result that I will know that I brought my target. And this is how I've done it all my life. I decided what's the result, what needs to be done, and I'm going to fall in love with that, even if it is to clean his ass. I don't care what it is. I fall in love with that. It was the best smell in the universe. For me, I was waiting for him to do that. And he felt that. He knew that it's like that. And from a position where he couldn't talk, he started to talk, but only to me. He started to talk. He started to move his body more. He improved and improved and improved, started to laugh. I was telling him jokes. And at the beginning, he was like dead. And over time, we got such a connection that his son, that I didn't know at the time when I started to take care of them, his son was actually extremely successful. And his son came to me and say, "What are you doing? Why are you renovating the house?" I said, "What do you mean why?" "Because I need to make him feel good in a good environment, nice environment. It has to smell good. It has to look good." It had, as his son started to look at me, and after few months he came to me and he said, "Look, I want you to run one of my factories." He was a very rich guy, I didn't know. And he said, "I want you to run one of my factories." And I told him, "Sounds good, but first of all, I have your father as a product. I need to achieve that." And he said, "No, no, we'll find someone to replace you." I said, "No, no, no. I will find someone to replace me. I will make sure that he bring the results, and then I will leave." And that's was my viewpoint. I first define the result exactly, then define what I need to do, knowingly that it will change, because you're starting to go towards a mountain. You will find all kind of barriers you didn't think about it. But I know this is the mountain, so I don't take my eyes off the mountain, and I love the climb. I love the climb. Where most of the people say, "No, it's difficult. I don't feel like it. It's hurting my feelings." It's no, all of this thing is nonsense.
Where does that, when you choose that goal, where are you choosing
It's not a.
from? Oh, okay. What is it? Go ahead. Rip apart
It's what I
my
want
words.
to have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's what I want to have. It's really important. Why? What's
Yeah.
the difference between a goal and a product or what you want to have? A goal is something that you want to be. A goal is I want to be rich. The purpose is what I want to do. To be rich, my purpose is to overcome that. My purpose is to do this. My purposes, and then I get something, which is what I have, what I can have. Yes. And if I don't start with what I want to have, you will fall into the same category of you go to a child and you tell him what I want to have, what you want to be. So he cannot figure out all the things that he needs to do before he can be, because you cannot figure out what you need to do if you don't know what you want to have.
And
So
when you say
it's
want to
wrong.
have, you're talking about an actual physical object.
Yeah,
Okay.
physical, like the ideal picture.
Uh-huh.
What is your ideal picture? Which house?
Uh-huh.
You want a relationship. What exactly this relationship going to look like? Exactly. What's the end result?
Okay.
It has to be defined in details. And so then I can decide what I need to do. Still not goal. I'm never mind what I need to be. What I need to do. And then what I need to be is the thing that fall in love with the thing that you need to do.
Okay. Are you saying that defining what we want to have is the single first important thing in terms of our life path?
100%. Because if I tell you go to a mountain,
Uh-huh.
you'll never get to a mountain because you don't know which mountain.
Okay, but where does that choice come from, in the body or in the mind or in the spirit? What's choosing that? And how can we trust that?
You'll see when you come to someone and you ask, "What do you want to be?" It's very difficult what I want to be. But if
Uh-huh.
I ask you what you want to have, you know immediately what are the things that will make your life better. So it's very easy. First of all, you want to have your mind in order. So this is the first circle of life, your mind. That's
Mhm.
the first circle of life. Your possessions. I want to have my mind in order. I want to have my body healthy. I want to have athletic body. I want to be able to push so much weight. I want to be able to run so much, da da da. So this is the first thing. Then the second thing that it will always lead to is family, children, and sex. That's the second area that you need to handle. The moment that you are okay with your mind, you'll see that you'll think about family, children, sex. Immediately after that, you've got groups. Once you have a family, then you start to think about groups, etc., etc. And you will see that a problem, if you have a problem in area A, the source of the problem is always before. So
Okay.
if you have a problem with your business, the source of the problem, family, you're probably cheating your wife or your girlfriend or something like that. Or you have a problem as a child, or you have a problem somewhere there with the family. If you have a problem with your family, you have a problem with your mind. If I'm the husband of, I'm a husband and I have a problem with the family, with my wife, my mind is not right. My mind is on a different wife or a different girl when I need to have my mind on this girl.
Okay. Can I
So,
understand just from your viewpoint and your teachings? I'm trying to understand, which is where does the everything originate from? Is it the mind that's the
okay,
originator?
no, it's you. You are the spirit and you
Okay.
have a mind and you have a body.
Okay.
And of course, we need to define what all those things are, because when I say spirit, what is a spirit? How do you define it? Yes. When
Okay.
you say mind, what is a mind? The body is easy because it's physical, you can see it. The mind is also quite easy because it's also physical. But what is the spirit? Yes. So
Yes.
once you define all of those things, you'll see that if you can define it, you can control it. And control equals income.
That is one of
Eh,
the main subjects I want to talk to you about because I heard it on many of your podcasts. Control equals income. But okay, but I don't want to. Can you define those three things first, and then we go into
Of
control
course.
equals income? Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, what is the smallest number in this universe?
One.
Good. It's actually two.
Okay. Right. 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 I remember.
Why?
Yes. Because
Why? Because
there's no such thing as something on its own. Anyway, go ahead. You explain.
that's
Yeah.
correct. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You have it.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as something on its own.
Yeah.
For every force, there's counter force. For every plus, there's the minus. If seven alone is nothing, but seven in comparison to eight or to six is something. So you can say that the physical universe, anything physical, is composed of twos. Make sense? So
Yes.
anything physical is composed of twos.
Duality. Is that
Now,
duality?
it's just it composed of two.
Okay.
The physical universe is a universe of two. For every plus there is minus. For every force there is counter force. It's not
Okay.
that for every plus there is two minuses. There is one minus. For every force there is opposite and counter force. That's just a physical physics. That's from
Okay.
observation. Okay. So let's say that I take this pen and it composed of billions of atoms that compose of a electron and proton. And I break it down and break it down and break it down and break it down and break it down. And I will come at the end to two, the first two particles, yes? So anything in the physical universe started with two. So the smallest number is two, which means that what created the two is not composed of two. When I say first or the beginning mean, the word beginning mean was not here before. So if I said the beginning of our interview was 15 minutes ago, it means the interview was not here before. The beginning of the iPhone was in 2000 and whatever, it means it was not here before. So if the beginning is with two, what created the two was not here before, is not two. So to create something, which means to create anything that composed of two, it can only be created from nothing. Nothing means, the word
Spirit.
nothing means, is not composed of two.
Okay.
So nothing and only nothing creates something. This nothing for the spirit, we call it an idea. An idea is something that comes out of nothing. If it didn't come from nothing, it's not an idea, it's a change, it's a modification.
Okay.
And if you look at anything physical, it used to be an idea. It used to be something not physical. Someone came up with something not physical, and somehow it turned into a physical thing. So if you look at anything physical, it used to be an idea, which means the boss, the most powerful thing in the universe is not atom bombs, it's not water, it's not diamonds. Ideas. Because ideas can change the physical universe.
Is
Ideas
ideas
can
synonymous
create.
with spirit? Are they the same thing? Ideas and spirit?
So the ideas is what come from the spirit.
Okay.
So how the spirit create the physical universe? How do you bring something out of nothing? The spirit, the nothingness, put it particles, which is our ideas. It's unlike the physical universe particles. Its particles, it put it into the physical universe and creates physical things.
Okay.
So the word universe means set of laws. So basically the spirit says, I take this idea and I make this idea adhere to the laws of this universe. And so you have let it be light. Let it be light means something out of nothing. So if you will check, you will see that anything good or bad that happened to you, if you will check, you will see that you first had an idea that it will happen and then it happened, but you dropped the responsibility. You had the idea and you didn't think about it. And then when it happened, you say, oh, it's just coincidence. No, 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 no.
Is there no such thing as an accident? Because I've often had this thought that it's always from our internal state, right? Accidents. Are
Yeah,
you?
there's nothing like accident. There
Uh-huh.
is drop in responsibility. There are areas you don't take responsibility, and because you are not responsible, you don't say it's me, you say it's an accident.
Even down to like a car accident.
Down to anything. So if we think about the responsibility at the lower level, you'll see that there's a problem.
Mhm.
That's the lowest responsibility. You are total effect. Okay,
Mhm.
the lowest level, you are total effect. Yes.
A complete
So
victim.
this is total effect. The physical universe, they do not wake up in the morning and say, I want coffee or
Okay.
I don't feel
Okay.
good. Yes, it's a
Okay.
physical thing. So total effect. Yes.
Okay.
Just above that, you have problem, and problem is defined as force counter force, intention counter intention. Just above that, you have self-definition. So you define what happens. So you say, if I hit you, it's me, but if you hit me, it's not me. And just above that, you've got freedom of determination, which means whatever I did to you and whatever you did to me, it's me,
My.
because of course I put myself here. So why you are there, let's say there is an accident, why you are there. And
Mhm.
5 people in an accident, why this guy had this event and this thing happened to him, this guy had that happening to him, and this guy, nothing happened to him.
Mhm.
It seems like an accident, but it's just levels of irresponsibility.
Are you saying essentially that we are God or that we are cause? Like
We are the creator, yes. You
we
are
are the
not the
creator.
God, but
Right.
you are God in your own universe. You are not the God, like you are not God,
Right.
God, like the creator,
Right.
but you're definitely the word God mean the creator. So
Uh-huh.
you are creator of your own universe, not the whole universe of all universes,
Okay.
but you are very limited in your viewpoint. Most of the people have one viewpoint. They see one thing. There is at least 8 billion viewpoint. If we assume that every person have a viewpoint, there is at least 8 billion viewpoint, but every person think that his viewpoint is correct and he's done everything. If there is 8 billion viewpoint, you never done everything that's possible, because there's 8 billion things to do about anything.
And you have said in the past that the more you think you know, or the more attachment to your viewpoints, the less income you have.
Yeah, the more you try to be right, the
Uh-huh.
worse you are.
Okay. So I want to unpack that and I want to unpack the control conversation around control and income. Can you unpack this first? And I'm going to use different language to you because I have a different viewpoint. But
No problem.
so obviously when someone is not to be attached to their own viewpoint, they should remain humble, correct? Where does
No,
humility come into play?
humility in the cemetery. You need to be cocky.
Okay.
You need to be cocky and allow everyone to be as cocky as you.
Okay, say
Because if
more.
you are humble, you are lying. Because if I created something and I said no, no, it's not me, I'm lying. You're adding a lie to the story. I'm not humble. This is what happened. This is what happened.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I created $100 million, but no, it was just that I was in the right time. No, 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 no. It was me, and I was good, and I was amazing, and I want you to be at least as good as me.
Okay. Where does the thing come into play where you are not valuing your own viewpoint, or you do value your own viewpoint?
No, I'm saying that I want to be, I'm saying that what I brought about is there, but I'm
Uh,
willing for everyone, all the viewpoint to be as cocky as me. I'm not
okay.
saying that I'm right. I'm
Okay.
saying, look, I did it, but I know that you can do it and he can do it and he can do it from a different viewpoint totally,
Okay.
which means that I said that in order to be successful, you need to be able to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm.
Correct. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
lines. That's one of my favorite
You,
lines.
you have to be able to win and lose. I don't care. I'm not protecting anything. I'm not protecting my body. I'm not protecting my money. I'm not protecting anything. I'm willing to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. Why? Because I'm the creator. I created it. I can recreate it.
Hmm.
But if you're afraid, you stop creating, you start protecting.
Okay.
Yes? If I put you, imagine that you have a wooden beam, let's say about 40 centimeter wide, okay, and 40 centimeter thick. So it can hold you very nice. And it's on the floor, and it's in the length is, let's say, 30 feet, okay? So it's a massive wooden beam, yes? And I ask you to walk on it, you'll walk on it, no problem. If I'll put it 200 meters in the air, 600 feet in the air, and I ask you to walk on it, you will probably won't. Why? Because now you're starting to protect the body. You're starting to be worried. The moment that you start protecting, you are not creating. You're not cause anymore. You're effect. And so you will lose. So I don't protect. I'm not careful. I'm able. I'm not careful. I'm cause. When my son go out and go away, I don't tell him drive carefully. I tell him drive causatively.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't tell him, look, be afraid. Yes, because fear is just an unwillingness to communicate.
Say more about that.
What does it mean to be afraid? To be afraid is an unwillingness to communicate, an inability to perceive. So if I do wow, you see the guy will go away. He's not wanting to perceive. The only thing that you're afraid of is what you cannot confront, what you cannot communicate with. But once you start to communicate with anything, you will discover that it's never as bad as you thought, because once I communicate with you, I can start to control. So if
Okay.
you have a lot to do, if
Uh-huh.
you have a lot to do, you'll see the problem become bigger and bigger and bigger in your head. Once you start to do the work, it's not a problem. You have a guy that you have a problem with, and you think, oh, it's bad, bad, bad. Once you meet with him and talk and start to communicate, you see things goes away. But if you meet him and you shout, you don't communicate. You're still unwilling to communicate. The situation deteriorates.
Why is shouting not communication?
Because if I shout at you, let's say I shout at you and you shout at me, are we communicating? Is that what does it mean, communication? Communication means that I say something and you fully understood what I said and you totally see my viewpoint. If not, it's not communication, it's talking. Talking with high volume, volume, bad emotion, good emotion.
Hmm.
Communication means that I cause you to see my viewpoint, and then I allow myself to see your viewpoint. And if that happens, there is nothing in the universe that will not come to, that will not disappear due to communication, because the more communication you have with something, the more you love them,
Hmm.
the closer you get to them. It is
Hmm.
only when you start to hide from your wife that you're cheating her that you start not liking her.
Mm.
But at the day one, you didn't hide from her anything, so you are very close to her. The moment that you start to lie, you don't want to communicate with her, and you start to be afraid of what will happen, and you start to be afraid of this and afraid of that and afraid of that, and you lose control and you lose control and you lose her because you don't have things. You have the communication with things. You don't have a car, you have the communication with the car. So your car can be there, the key can be there, but if you don't communicate with them, if you don't know where they are, you don't have the keys. So
Okay, let me
those
process for a
principles,
second.
if they're not fully understood, and I'm shooting a lot of principles at you.
No, it's good. It's good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish that.
So if you don't have those principles, you'll see that you cannot live because people are afraid they cannot fix it because they don't know what fear means. But if you know that fear is just an unwillingness to communicate, increase the willingness to communicate, and that's it. No more fear.
So some of my audience has chronic illness. Okay, I had many years of illness, and I've heard in one of your shows that you talk about basically it's a boycott, or that's not the word you used. It's a
Protest against life.
say the word again. A
Protest
protest.
against life.
So can
Yeah.
you break down what illness would be for of someone with chronic illness? Why are they in chronic illness in a spiritual lens or whatever this lens is?
Okay. Okay. So the mind is a series of pictures. Every second you take 25 pictures. Every pictures have many perceptions, more than 50 perceptions, and the mind is just many, 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 many pictures. And you use the mind by looking at those pictures. Every time that something happens in front of you, you compare it to all the pictures in your mind. You look at similarities, identity, differences, and you make logical decisions. At some point, if there was something that happened too fast, that happened in such a way that you consider that it's damaging, you cannot figure out the identity, the similarity and differences. And so all of a sudden, instead of seeing 2,000 different picture in an incident, you see one picture, which is the incident. And let's say that in this incident, let's say that you fell into a pool when you are 5 years old, and I'm telling you a real story. You fell into a pool when you are 5 years old, and someone says, "Oh, he cannot breathe. He cannot breathe." And your father jumped in and took you out, and you don't remember anything, and everything is okay. Now, from that moment forward, every time you see water, every time you see your father, every time you see that area, you think, I cannot breathe. Your mind tells you that you cannot breathe. It's trying to protect you from falling to that pool. And so you develop asthma. All of a sudden, you cannot breathe. So an illness illness is a protest against something. You have the protest against, you fell into the pool and you couldn't breathe and you cannot really see who says what, and all of this become a blur and one long command that tells you what to do. So from now on you cannot breathe. So if you take this person and you find this incident and you separate it, you get him to look. When you look at your past, when you look at your mind, you'll see that all therapies from the beginning of time had to do with the person communicating about something that happened and separating the details, finding more truth about what happened. And once the whole truth is there, you become the boss over what's happening.
Essentially, truth being that they were the cause.
Yeah, that there was this thing happen and this thing happened and this thing happened. It's not everything equal to everything. It's not water equal to father, equal to he cannot breathe, equal to it's frightening, equal it's painful, equal I don't know what to do, equal all kind of things that happen. So if that happened to you at the age of 5, which actually it's something that happened with the lady that sat next to me in an airplane, and I saw that she's using this inhaler, and I ran her on the incident, and I found that she fell into the pool when she was 5 years old, and because of that she had asthma.
Uh-huh.
And since that we handled it, we found what's happened, and the asthma is gone. I had a lady in one of the seminars. The seminar had like maybe 100 people in it, and I spoke about it online with the people that were at that seminar. She got an asthma attack, like She was about like, whew, it was really bad. She became blue, white, and so she got her inhaler, blah blah blah, and she explained to everyone that she have asthma and that's what happens. And I said, okay, fine, let's handle it. And I got her to the side, and I've done with her whatever I'm doing with her. And at that night, we went to one of the participant house in Chicago, sat in the basement, smoked cigars. She was there smoking cigars with her. She couldn't stand next to smell of anything. And since then, up to today, she never had one asthma attack, not one.
Mhm. Mhm.
And this was, I think, 2013 or 12.
Wow.
Room
Okay.
full with 100 people.
Mhm.
So the mind, when the mind tells you that you're sick, you're going to be sick. And the sickness is just you protesting what happened a long time ago, and it's unhandled. And the only reason why it's unhandled is because it's all confused, it's all meshed up. The moment that you separate what actually happened, the moment that you find the truth about something, it ceases to exist. If you have an argument with your wife, if you find the truth about what's actually happening, what's not communicated, you will see there will be no argument. But if you don't find it, you will argue about this and then about that and then about that, and the situation will become worse and worse and worse. And that's the average person who is sick.
Mhm. Okay. Can we revisit the control conversation? Because this is a
Of course.
word that in spiritual, spiritual language, we're taught about relinquishing control. We're taught about surrender. And you often use this word control in a very positive light. The more you control, the more income you have, the more, basically, it seems like everything stems from control, correct?
Let's have a look.
What's that?
Let's have a look. Let's have a
Yeah,
look. What
go
happens
ahead.
if you don't control your car?
You crash.
Okay, good. What's happen if you don't control your urges?
Yes, you succumb to your urges. Yes.
Yeah, you succumb to the urges. You
Yeah.
become a puppet.
Yes.
What happens if we don't control the physical universe? If we don't drill the hole through the mountain, but we obey the physical universe and we continue to say, well, this mountain is too high, we cannot go by it. What happens if we don't make the physical universe obey us? We become physical, we deteriorate. Why men progress? Progress because it demonstrates more and more and more control over the physical universe.
Okay.
So when a person don't understand what control mean, he never define what control mean. What they think about is situation where they lost control, they didn't demonstrate control, so someone controlled them not correctly with violence or something like that, and they say control is bad. But any person, in order to succeed, if I don't control my employees, will they do what they need to do? No.
Well, what does it
If I
mean to
don't control
control your
my mind, will I
employees?
go to,
Uh-huh.
sorry?
What does that mean, control your employees?
I need to be able to. I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Israel, there was this guy that was the first prime minister, and his name was Ben Gurion. And he had this lots of people that really loved him and trusted him and everything. And one of them was Golda Meir, that later on became a prime minister. And she was a very powerful, tough woman. And she said, "Look, I totally 100% trust Ben Gurion. I'm going behind him with closed eyes. But from time to time, I open one eye just to make sure that his eyes are open. So to make sure that he knows where he's going. So
Right.
you need to control your employees. You need to see what they're doing. What's the result that they're bringing. You
Okay.
need to make sure that they actually do what they need to do, because otherwise they will have backlog from here to eternity.
Are you
The
talking
average
about clear, defined financial goals? Does every employee need KPIs or like, is
Every
that how you
employee
run your
needs end
businesses?
result.
Okay.
Yeah, end result. He needs to know end result. So, for example, if you don't know what the end result of an owner of a business, which is income which is a viable, expanding organization, viable, expanding, and prosperous organization with increasing money to owner's reserve and very well paid staff. If the owner don't know that this is what he's trying to achieve, never will be there. If the marketing division don't know that their target, their end result is income greater than outgo plus reserves, you will never do what marketing will cost you endless amount of money, but will be a waste of money because people don't know that the purpose of marketing is to create want and sell something. You don't need salesmen. Salesmen upsell. If you go to Apple, they're a very good marketing company, so they don't need salesmen. The salesmen upsell. The salesmen explain how to use. The salesmen make sure that you will come the next thing. They're part of the marketing division. So if you got good marketing, you don't need salespeople. Salespeople are there to handle useless marketing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you go to buy an iPhone, you want to buy it. You don't need a salesperson. He's on the way because you want it faster. Yes? You have a new iPhone. The marketing is unbelievable. So there is a lot of purchasing. And if the marketing is not so good, then there's not so much sales. So if you understand that the purpose of marketing is not a public awareness and all of this thing is nothing, it's not important. The end result of marketing is to create want and to sell something. And to sell something, not or. And if you understand that, that's wonderful. If you understand that the end result of sales, a salesperson is a person that help the prospect to help himself with the product or service. So he already decided that he wants to buy. Now I can help you to help yourself with what I sold you through marketing. So if you don't understand the end result in every single step of the process, you're wasting your time. So if I have an employee, he needs to understand what the end result is. And only if you understand the end result, can I measure him. And now I measure something of value, not how many clicks is done, because this is nonsense. Yes. I'm not just looking at numbers as, okay, this is my KPIs. The KPIs, okay, wonderful, good. But are they measuring a result or are they measuring actions? If they're measuring actions, the action can be stupid action and the statistic will show up, but I'm actually going down.
And the end result is a financial one?
It depends where you are. So the end result of a teacher, the end result of a teacher would be children who understand the material taught and use it to improve their life and the life of the society, improving their life and the life of everyone else, bringing about an improved society. Mm-hmm. Now, if the teacher don't understand that, the teacher would say, no, but I taught you. I don't care if you taught me. Did I actually understand? And did I actually use it to improve my life and the life of others? Otherwise, you are useless. You are not a teacher. I don't care what you do. As far as I'm concerned, don't do anything. Good think, good thought, bring me these results. Mm-hmm. If I don't know, the person that's responsible for the account payable do not understand that his end result is pleased creditors, that's his end result. The creditors needs to be pleased. If he doesn't understand that, he cannot do his job.
Can you help me find my end result?
Of course.
Okay. Should we do that now?
Not now, but I can.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, continue.
It's a little bit. It's not complex.
Okay.
It's not complex, but I need to sit with you and actually get you to look at things that you're unwilling to usually look at.
Okay.
People look at what they want to be and what they want to do because in order to really define your end result, you need to look at things that you are unwilling to look at. If I ask a teacher, what is your end result? She cannot look at the end result because it will show her how many sins she committed. She got a lot of money for not bringing this end result. It's a major sin. She destroyed a lot of children. Not on purpose, but it's still a sin.
So every penny you make has to come with an equal transaction of value delivered, or you're saying of the end result having been delivered?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If I employ you and you cost me $1,000 and you don't generate at least $8,000, I'm losing money. Because to make $1,000 to pay you, I need to create much more money than this $1,000. So
So
if
if,
I work for you
go ahead.
and I don't bring, and I cost you more than you bring, I'm stealing money from you.
Wow.
I'm stealing. I'm actually stealing because you cost me money.
Wow.
Your job is to bring at least minimum the amount that you cost me, not the amount that I pay you, the amount that you cost me.
And you're
And
saying it's an
most
eight
people
to one
don't.
cost?
Yeah, usually a business it's 1 to 8. For every dollars that you spend, you need to make 8.
Wow.
That's why people are finding. That's why businesses, even if they make money at some point, they don't survive because everything changed. You need to redevelop. You need to reinvent yourself. You need to invent to renew everything all the time. And the faster the universe, the faster the society going, the more you need to reinvent yourself. So there's endless amount of, let's say, you dealing with software and you think, no, I have this software and it's working and I'm selling it. What are you talking about? There's continuous maintenance and you have to recreate the software because the technology changed, because the operating system changed, because the devices changed. So you always need to recreate everything from scratch, reinvest in the technology.
That's what I've done for the
You
last 10
have
years. Yeah. In terms of my
the,
own brand, right? But you're saying that's a good thing, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you need basically to look at what's happening, what will bring the result. And part of it is always improving the machine. The machine needs to be improved. Um, yeah. So there is the problem that I can see with people is generally like that. Let's say I take a professional guy, he's a chiropractor, okay? He learned 4, 5, 6 years how to become a chiropractor. He doesn't, he understand, he has some understanding of that. In order for him to be really good, he need another 5 years of practice. And now he's really a good chiropractor. Took him 10 years to become a good chiropractor. So he can bring result. He can actually help people, not just crack backs. Now ask him how long you've studied finance. 20 minutes. How long you study marketing? Oh, at least 3 hours. Or I've been in 3 seminars of 3 days. It's nothing. What do you learn in 3 days? Nothing. If you want to be successful, you need the knowledge because the knowledge gets you to actually control. If the chiropractor has good knowledge, he will be able to do whatever he wants and he will control where your back is at, all the position of the whatever, yes? But if he doesn't know, he will crack your neck and leave you paralyzed because he's not controlling each and every step. So knowledge results in control. And knowledge means that you actually can, it's the sum of all the words and symbols that you have the correct definition for and that you can bring result with. So when you have the correct definition for a word, you'll see that you can fix all the situation, any problem related to that word. If you know that fear is just a state of imperception and unwillingness to communicate, if you really understand that, you can fix any kind of fear. You just increase the willingness to communicate and the fear goes away. If you know that that the that the physical universe is this thing that composed of tools and it is the thing that has been created by ideas. Okay, good, let's start to figure out what ideas are and how do we create ideas. If you understand that the more you protecting, the worse they become, because you need to Attacked, not protect. Protection is very small part. It must not be more than 10%. 90% should be attack. Why? Because protection is a stop. And you are as alive as you move, not as you are dead. As you know, in the grave, you don't move. And a child move a lot.
What do you think about
So
like protecting assets? Is there a point to protecting assets and stuff like that?
no, create so much that the
Uh,
protection becomes so small. If I have very little, if I have $100, so I need to protect it a lot because I have only $100. Yes.
mhm. Yeah.
But if I have a machine that print $1 billion per day, I will protect, but the percentage of the creation versus the protection will mean nothing.
Uh,
So you have a massive bank with a vault, and it seems like a lot of protection, but actually in comparison to how much money rolling, it's nothing. So you need to create so much that the protection becomes so little
okay.
in comparison to your creation, yes? Because big and small is in comparison to something.
Okay. Let me ask what this is a little bit of a different direction here, but is there such a thing as just the right amount of money where so basically someone has 10, $20 million, they're good, they have all of their assets. Why is the end result or why is the goal always more money? Is it because it's
The goal,
uh-huh,
the goal is money is useless if it doesn't help.
uh-huh.
Money is useless if it doesn't help. I can give you $1 billion and you're about to die tomorrow. What does it help?
Hmm.
You have $1 billion, but you cannot save your child. What does it help?
Hmm.
But if that money can save your child, is useful. So more money as long as it helps. So how much money? As much as help that you want to give. Money is useless if it doesn't help.
Does your money help you?
It helps others, not only me,
Okay.
of course, but me, of course, because if I don't have money, can I sit and have this good setup that when I communicate with you right now, you will have a very good quality of sound, very good quality of picture, etc. Not as much, yes.
Hmm.
If I don't have money, can I just go quickly and arrange helping children in school? Not really, yes. You cannot do that when you're starving, yes. So money it's good for as long as it's used to help. So it
Okay.
helps you, it helps your family, it helps the group, it helps mankind, it helps life forms, it helps other beings. If you use it to help many, many circles of life, it's wonderful. If not, it's useless. So you have $1 million in the bank. So what? How
Mm.
does it help?
Okay. So your money is always being being used.
Used to help, used to
Used to
help.
help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
if not, it's just useless. Why do I need? What do you do with that?
Okay.
It's useless.
Fascinating. Yeah, I mean, look, we could talk for hours. There's so much to talk about. We might have to do another one, but is there anything else that you can, like, if you, the average business owner or entrepreneur, what is their core fault that they're making? What is their core issue?
Lack of control. What is control?
Okay.
We said that control is the definition of the word control is the ability to start, change, stop, which allow you to start again. So cycle of action is start, change, stop, and only when you stop, you can start again. Yes? So only when I stop, when I completed the sentence, I can start another sentence, or I can start to listen to you. But if there's an interruption, there is no complete cycles of action. So control is the ability to start, change, stop. If I can, you'll see that most of the businessmen start, change, but don't stop.
Hmm.
They look at the email and they don't answer. They don't make decisions. They don't close cycles of actions. Because they don't close cycles of actions, what happens is that imagine that when you are born, you have many processes that you can run. Yes, many processes, millions. Every time you start something and you didn't close it, one of those processes get employed. It's busy now. Okay. So the more open cycles you have, the less processes you have available to you. So it's much like a computer. If I open more and more and more and more programs, the computer becomes slower. And if I will continue to open more programs, it will crash, it will go bankrupt. That's what happened to the average um, businessman, to the average person. They open cycles and they don't close.
So one example is
They
I
lose
started doing,
control.
what's that?
So they lose control, so they don't have income.
Okay. So one thing I started doing years ago from you is I started archiving every WhatsApp message, right? Every WhatsApp message that is done, I close the cycle of action and I archive it, correct? What are
Yeah,
other
100%.
cycles of action that you do or that the average person is missing out on? Closing cycles
Okay,
of
so
action.
first thing I have my inbox,
Mhm.
email and task inbox empty every day. By the end of every day, it's empty, and I'm Nazi about it. I'm worse than Hitler.
Okay.
Whatever happened, if I need to stay until the next day, I'm not going to sleep. The
Uh-huh.
inbox will be closed. I'm answering all my communication or archiving them. WhatsApp, if I open WhatsApp right now, just randomly, I have you. I don't know if you can see, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. The last items is from 10 o'clock in the morning, which I need to do tonight.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, I've got something from you, 8:53. I've
Uh-huh.
got something that I got some nonsense group, so I just close. And I've got another two messages that I got in 9:10 and 9:27. I'm dealing with probably per day 200, 300 WhatsApp messages, but all in the archive. I'm handling them. It's not that I don't handle them. So I know this, I'm always closing cycles of action. If I'll open right now for you my inbox, I have maybe 40 communications because during the day I close the communication. I have specific time to close the communication in the morning. I close the communication in midday, and at night I close the communication. I close communication. I don't leave anything for later. And if there is something for later, I create a task out of it, which means I convert it. I created a whole software for myself, and that's called Time Maker, that I can take any communication, any emails, convert it into task, and have it coming to me in a future date that I decided. And also, when I send you an email, when I send you something to do, I have a target date. If you answered, it will connect and tell me, okay, answered, so I can close the cycle. If you did not answer, it will come back to me and say, hey, look, he didn't do it. What do you want to do? So I have my mind very open to create, where most of the people have the attention stuck in the past. And you know my definition, I think I told you, most people think that the insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different result. I say it's bullshit. That's the definition of tenacity. Tenacity is to go to the gym again and again and again and again and expect different result. Every Monday I do bench press. Every Tuesday I do this. I expect different result. That's tenacity. Insanity is attention stuck in the past. Attention stuck on open cycle is insanity.
Do you close cycles on text messages as well?
Everything, text, WhatsApp.
What do you
Uh,
do? How do you use the iMessage? You delete it?
yeah, so if I go to the messages here, I open them and I say edit, mark it, and it's gone like that. Boom, to the right, finish, delete.
Delete. So you delete iMessages.
Yeah, 100%. I just remove them.
Or maybe there's
I'm
an
done.
archive
It's done.
button.
Finished.
Is there an archive
Yeah,
button?
it's
I haven't seen.
Yeah, there is. If you do this, like, let me show you. If you go here and you do right, you'll see that you can just delete it, and
Uh-huh.
it says delete,
Okay.
and you boom remove it. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
If you do if you there's an edit here, and you can say edit, and you can just say mark it as you want it or you don't want it, and
Okay. But
but
long story short, these are all cycles of
I remove
action that plague the mind.
closed cycles of action, closed cycles of action, so my attention is free for creation.
Okay.
So I actually control my environment. Because I tell you, I send you something, do that, and I'm controlling you because I'm taking responsibility. I'm not saying, well, I told him if you forgot. No, I'm sending something to one of my employees to do something. They have a task, there's a target date. And if they don't do it, it comes back to me and say, hey, they didn't do it. What do you want to do? And my system is such that I can lock the computer and force them to do the task.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I control them. I want my results because if they don't produce their result, I cannot bring my results. Because if I ask you something, is because you need to give me sub product in order for me to deliver the product. So if I ask my accountant to do a model in order to give it to a client, so I can close the deal, and he didn't do that. He's preventing me from closing the deal. So I want this model, and it will be done on time. And if it will not be done on time, number one, I will force him. I will lock his machine. And number two, I have statistics of how many of those he didn't do on time. So I don't care what he say. I look at the numbers of how many non-compliance he have, and I know if this guy helps or he destroy. So I know, do I need to help him? Maybe. Maybe I need to train him, or maybe I need to shoot him.
How many employees do you have?
700.
Wow. 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 Okay, so I have a lot to learn from you, all right? And I have a lot more questions for you. I think we should leave it there for now.
Okay.
So people can find you on Instagram, Meir Ezra, your website. I'm going to leave all the information in the info
Meir Ezra
description.
official.
Meir Ezra
Yeah, Meir Ezra
official.
official.
And you're one of those people that is like mind altering, mind bending to talk to. There's a lot of parts of me that want to disagree with you, and I'm not letting those parts chime in right now. I'm just actually super open with curiosity because it's like a portal, right? It's based and I will never live my life exactly as you live it, but you do open a portal, right? And I think that's one of your magic skills there. And I remember Tommy, my friend, he defined you as like a master of the universe. That was what he described you as. So thank you for this talk. Is there anything else
Thank
you want to
you.
share with the people who are about to check your workout?
Um, I'm very accessible. Feel free to DM me. I always answer, always. Within a day, you'll get an answer. I will never delay you unless if I'm on a flight, then it will be the next day. Like, so if I'm on a flight and I will land the next day, let's say I'm on 12, 16 hours flight, I'm not connecting on a flight ever to the Wi-Fi
Why?
because on flights I do two things. I write songs. Number one,
Uh-huh.
because I do music, so I
Uh-huh.
write songs and I do long-term projects. So long-term projects, I'm disconnected from the universe. No one can reach me, and I do long-term projects. I write a book. I write this. I do all kind of things that in the day-to-day, I didn't allocate the time for that. So I'm allocating. I know once every week or 2 weeks I'm flying, and I have 10, 15, 16 hours flight. Wonderful. This is the time to sit and do long-term projects.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Um, I can go in a million different questions. I'll leave it for now. So, all right. Thank you, Meir Ezra. I'm going to remove the recorder now.